Yeah.
They're
So
pro-
40, man, the people want to know, how did you get signed to Dipset and how did you meet Cam? They want to know this.
yes.
Oh, okay. See, it's a little simpler. My story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 40 Cal. That means I'm Calvin from 40th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cam is
Got
from 40th and Lennox. And he happened to be from the same building. You know what I'm saying? So it was elementary that I bump into him and and meet him. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Before that, I was bumping into rest in peace Big L, and he gave me a lot of insight on
Mm.
how to formulate wordplay and shit like that, and
it.
Yeah.
and do that. So it was like, from that block, I don't know if it's the water, but it's a lot of talent. Like, what I'm saying,
Oh
you got,
yeah.
like I said, L,
Mace, Big L.
Ruff,
Yeah.
Cam, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and then, it was me, and
Mm-hmm.
Max B, you know what I'm saying, and
Votto,
the
right?
list actually goes on. Yeah, Bottle actually a few blocks down, but
What
saying
about Jay
the area
Mills?
actually, if you're talking about the area, it's
Yeah.
still more rappers. If you want
Yeah.
to talk about Jay Mills and all that,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying, but it's like that's just in that whole vicinity. Like, these are the people you looked up to, but Cam was from my building, so it
Got
was
you.
Oh.
easy. Okay, so
Oh, so that's that's a real Max B story almost. Because remember, Max B was in his building, your building too, right?
actually that's incorrect. He's
Ooh.
from the block, but he wasn't from that same building, and it's
It sounded
I,
good in the
I know
lab.
he was just. I mean, I don't think he Cam was like trying to like spice up the story. He just
Right.
was talking. He had a lot to say, but
Yeah.
he's actually from up the block, same block. You know what I mean? Few buildings down, but
Yeah.
same.
Being that we on Max B, was you and Max B cool? Did you ever collaborate?
Yeah, that's funny. Me and Max B actually went to school together.
Oh wow.
What was he like in school?
The same way, he was a troublemaker, man. he actually, no, I can't say the same because he's not a troublemaker, but he's a troublemaker. Like he said, we all knew him as Charlie Rambo. So he's one of them guys that, like, he used to pick on people, try to cut up your North Face jacket.
Yeah.
Like, he's the guy that you know now. I used to be like, yo, when he first started rapping, I said, yo,
Yeah.
why you ain't keep the Charlie Rambo name? Sound a little bit more snazzy than
Yeah.
Max B. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But
He was so
he,
funny, bro. That guy's a funny guy.
yeah, he dead ass used to piss on the bums. He was one of them guys. Like, he's a jerk. He's a jerk. Word up. Everybody from the hood could co-sign. But when he started rapping, he was always popular. So,
So Camron's the one who founded you and brought you into the clique. Basically, he just thought, like, what did he see in you to bring you in?
Oh man, I tell you the real, how it really, like, the whole time I really, like, I've been seeing him and living in my building, but we didn't know each other, so I ain't gonna say like we grew. It was a story like grew up from day one in that building, but
Right.
when I see him, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So at the time, I sold weed. I was the weed man.
Okay.
I was
Ain't
the
nothing wrong with
weed
that.
boy.
I did the same thing. Nothing wrong with that.
Hey man, I was 17, 18. I
Yeah.
said, yo, I told him, I said, yo, man, I give you some free weed if you listen to my bars. And and from there, he was like, all right, bet. All right.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? I kick. So I thought I was gonna kick a verse. He gonna be like, that's hot. All right, give me the weed. You know what I mean? He was
Yeah.
like, he dead ass was like, yo, that was all right, man. Let me hear another joint. I'm 8 verses in, and he still paid for the weed. So
Oh shit.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
what's
because
up.
he had to respect the
Like,
bars.
Salute for that.
Yeah.
yeah, every time I would see him, it would be like a quiz, like, let me hear a verse. And so I knew he was really fucking with me,
Yeah.
because I just spit 20 verses for this nigga, because I see him through the hood every time. It'd be like, yo, spit a verse. And then one time I spit a verse, he was like, yo, I heard that already. I'm like, I ain't got no more verse. I got 20 verses memorized. I'm like, I need, he's like, yo, just get it together. And then after that, I wrote like 10 in the crib, and it was a wrap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how long did it take for him to like pull you in officially to Dipset?
I still don't even know. Because the funny thing is, like, I'm to the point where I'm in the studio with everybody, and I'm meeting everybody. I'm doing verses.
Yeah.
I'm doing verses like the same way Max B, his story I heard was similar because it's 2 studios in every studio. It's a studio A and a studio B, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, whoever got the session is in studio A, but in a studio B, it's always like a little lounge, like a little like that's how the Hit Factory was, like a little lounge, and it'd be like a TV or some shit to chill. And somebody always have like a laptop with the microphone set up, swag.
Yeah.
So that was me all day. You know what? I'm gonna do songs and get my shit up till I make it to Studio A. Yeah. That's where all our mixtapes was done on like that swag. Like when J.R. Writer was going crazy, how Rel came home and my joints. So long story short, one of them songs made it to Dipset 2.
Okay.
And the whole I'm gonna touch on like the whole like hierarchy of Dipset, like when he was like president, who's vice president. This shit was fucked up because it wasn't really no really structure on how they doing that. With that being said,
yeah,
how I found out that I was really, really down is when J.R. Writer called me. He says, what you doing? I says, I'm on the block. He says, okay, I'm going on tour. I'll see you later, and you could be on the block. I said,
wow.
I'll see you later. I'm going to finish getting this money. All that shit don't make me money. Being with, I'm not invited on that tour. He said, listen, my nigga, you're bugging. You need to leave that attitude shit alone. Because first of all, I'm looking at you and your face is on the tour bus. But I holler.
Wow.
Word to my mother. I ain't get no itinerary, no call to say, yo, 40. Your face is on the tour bus. We leaving at time. This and that. I was like.
So what was your next move? What was your next move?
So he banged the phone. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Stop what I'm doing. I threw all the clothes in the bag. I even missed the bus, man. I came down there, the bus gone. I took a bus all the way to DC. That was the first stop, and then it was a wrap. I had to see this. I was like, my face on the tour bus. Yeah. You feel me? Like,
what year was that?
It was like it wasn't no no grand and whole itinerary, and we did. That was my first tour. Wow. States and getting a taste of like what shit's like. You know what I mean?
What year is that?
Oh shit, had to be 03.
Wow, that's early. That's like right after Oh Boy.
Yeah, it's MySpace era. Our whole Dipset shit was like more MySpace was like rocking. It wasn't no Instagram.
Yeah.
Facebook wasn't even rocking like that.
Huh?
No, Facebook didn't even exist till 04.
Facebook, it was just like, you had to be popping on MySpace.
Yep.
Remember them stupid pages? People would design you a stupid little MySpace. It was like a website.
Yeah, it was like that's what you needed back then. You needed that. You know what I'm saying?
That made Soulja Boy.
I feel old just talking about it. It's like, yo, you remember MySpace?
It's spooky right now.
MySpace blew it.
Yeah.
So okay.
Basically, you caught up to the tour bus. You took you took like the Greyhound or some shit to get to DC?
Greyhound to catch the tour bus. Hell yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, because I learned early that when it come to moving, they don't wait for nobody, man.
Yes, sir.
I can tell you stories of niggas, we do a show or fucking we out of town and niggas fall asleep. Flight leave at 6. You wake up. Everybody gone. You the only one in the fucking room with your clothes.
Yeah.
You like, what? Yo, niggas ain't wake me up. You calling niggas, they at the airport going through the checkout. They like, yo, listen, man, we tapped on the door. You ain't say nothing. We out, man. So you learn early, like, yo, man, you got to be punctual and on time. But me, I'm like, I didn't know about no tour. You ain't say, yo, 40, this and that. You know what I mean? But I wasn't mad. I was just happy to be there, man.
Jordan Tower Films. Jordan Tower Film.